Welcome back, everybody, to our coverage here of BullShooter Europe XXXI 2025. My name is Nick DeShare, bringing coverage of the team cricket event today. Something different for my North American friends and for my European friends. You guys might be familiar with this format. It is actually one of my favorite events of all BullShooter Europe has to offer. Just such a unique game type. What we're going to be looking at here is the King seat matchup. Sorry, we missed commentary on the league number one there. There was a background issue. I had to get isolated real quick to make sure we were live on all of our different platforms. But here's how team cricket works, and here's what we're looking at. This is the King seat matchup. Right now, it is 4-on-4. 2 people on one board, 2 people on another. They're playing a team cricket game. It's a best of 5. So if at any point one of the teams goes up 3-0, it automatically ends. If not, you wait to see the deciding of the other leg. So we're watching this board right here. Entree Dart 1 did take leg number 1. And Bisora Ribol did not win leg number 1 on this board. We don't know the other board scoreline yet. Now let's talk a little bit about what team cricket is. Team cricket's a little different than playing 2 players on the same scoreline of cricket. As you see here, there is 4 score lines in this cricket, which means that not only do you have to close a number, but your partner has to close that number as well before you guys can score any points on it. So the best thing you can do on your opening turn is hit a white horse. And then from there on, you're just trying to close as many numbers as possible and find stuff that you and your partner can point on. It leads to some shots where you're sometimes forced to point only because there's nothing else you're eligible to close. It leads to shots where you're closing only because there's nothing available to point. There's so many interesting. You can have a turn where it's literally impossible for you to do anything and it passes. It's so fascinating. It's one of my favorite game types. So here we go. Jumping into black shirts, there are Bisora Rapol. Let's go ahead and talk real quick about who's on these teams. Pronunciation warning, as you guys should know this by now. Bisora Rapol is Angel Rodriguez, Carlos Arola, Kilian Perales, and Xavi Cruz. And then Entree Dart 1 is Celestio Yemens Iglesias. Then we have David Ruiz Batista, Javi Monrero Barrasso, Raul Encinas Ortega, and Ricardo Fernandez Caballo. That is going to be our opponents here on the board. Great 7 mark there. Does help Bisora get some points on the board, and you can see the 20s can't get shut down here with just a single. 20s are now out of the game. It's about finding that next number to point on. And you can see the reason that they went for 18s there is that because player 3 is following, player 3 can close the 19s right here and have no points be able to be scored. So the 18 was actually a very smart switch. We're going to have a lot of time analyzing strategy. There's going to be times where I call it completely wrong, and there's going to vice versa be times where we're all going to learn something together. If you guys are curious, I have now almost officially lost my voice. You might have heard that during the team cricket or the national team's final. So there you go. And you can see right there after the 18s were after the 18s were closed, no ability to point, had to go to the 19s. And it looks like I just got an update here from our boots on the ground that Entree Dart won both legs. So they're currently up 2-0, meaning if this leg or the leg playing on our sideboard finishes in their favor, they automatically win the seat in the best of 5. So 18 should be the start here to make sure you can start getting points on the board. Does find it. A trip 19 closes the 19s for everybody, but the 18s can just get closed right behind it. So this last start should probably be another trip 18. Looking down, did take the look. I don't like that shot because right now, Doe can just go up here and hit 3 18s, and then the 19s can't get attacked in the next throw. Yeah, now, does it close, though? It does. Back to points. Great 6 mark there from Bisora Rapol. Since the 19s aren't close by the partner, nothing you can do there except move on to the next number. Didn't like the position on the 17 there and moved around. Because your goal is to close. So you got the 16. Okay, go back. Didn't like the spot on the 17. Try to grab the 15. All that player could do in that turn was close other numbers. But a good stab at the 17. The pressure is starting to really get on. So now this shot should be at the 16 to start to get a number to point on. Goes high. That's a blocker. Oh, that's such a gnarly blocker. Did that help move it? It did, but it went high on the last start. So now, unfortunately for Entree Dart 1, they're in a pretty bad position. 17s can now be added on as a second number. I don't think contesting the 16 here is the play. I think you get way more value out of just grabbing the 17. So I don't like that shot there. I think that was a free opening, because now all of a sudden 2 17s, 2 15s is the shot. There's the 17s, and here's the 2 15s. And if the number 2 scoreline there for Entree Dart, the one third in, it's so hard to word this, doesn't close any numbers. The only thing that the player that just threw can do is hit bulls. Looks like something happened that had him walk off the line there. Maybe an error in the dart choice there. As I was reading the comments, I looked back and I was like, what did I miss? So get your partner something to point on, 17s, 16s, or 15s. I would go ahead and try to grab 17s and 15s. So give your partner more numbers of points. Yeah, this is a smart play. Now, this last start, there's an argument to go back to the 16 just so that way you have some points on the return. It's a 400 point limit in this format. I think it's only a 15 round limit, though. Yeah, just going to go ahead and make sure his partner can close the 16s on the return. Back to the 19s. No. Attack the 17s as well. Made sure that they got the second number online. I like that shot quite a lot from Basora Rapol. I believe, because they haven't stopped play of this game, Basora Rapol might have just won that leg over on the sideboard. Again, the score line for the actual scoreboard that we have there at the bottom left may be incorrect at times, but that's because I'm 1,000 miles away. And then some. Onto the 15 should stay there. I don't like the closing here. You got to point up a little bit more. That point differential is tough. Because all this gentleman can do is either start the close on the 15, which he does, but he can also bury you in the points, which he's going to, or at least attempt to. So this might be the last round to be able to shot at 15s. You need to extract as many points as possible. That helps quite a lot. Big 6 mark from Entree Dart 1. And then close the 15 should be the shot here. And then point up before the bulls. Or you can start the 3 bulls because your partner can't finish the game. Now you can start the bulls if you really want to, but you're going to stay. No reason to risk it. This might be going to a last leg decider here. Yeah, I understand that you don't want the 400 point limit to come into play, but also if you don't hit 3 bulls, your partner has no chance of recovering any of those points. It just becomes a race for who hits 6 bulls as a team. That last dart doesn't count for anything because the bulls were already closed. After those first 2 darts, that player could have effectively hit the button. It would have been the same. And failed to close the bulls here, meaning that 3 bulls now for Basora Rapol descends to a last leg decider in the seat match. That will do. And from my understanding, it should be last leg decider, considering that the match immediately ends after the other board. So let's see where we're at, but it should be a last leg decider on this main board here. This is to get to the finals, folks. You can tell the match isn't over because no one's cheered yet. Hope you guys have been enjoying the coverage. I've enjoyed it so much I've lost my voice. That's how you know I've been having a good time. BullShooter Europe always treats me so well. And it looks like they're having fun with the youth player, talking about which player is the favorite, it seems. I believe Javi won that vote. Love seeing all the youth talents there. Is the match over? It might be over. Let's see. Did they score it on CompuSport? Because that very first leg, if Isora won instead of Entree Dart, that means that they technically would have just won right there. People are walking away. Oh, it is 3-1 Entree Dart. Did I? So they might have been finishing that leg, even though the scoreline is already decided. I don't know what's happening here, folks, but it looks like Entree Dart 1 is going to be your seat holders. Yeah, that is correct. That is finalized. So congrats to Celestio Yemens, Iglesias, David Ruiz Batista, Javier Monroe Barrasso, Raul Encinas Ortega, and Ricardo Fernandez Caballo for their win. Coming up here is going to be Honey A, Daniel Martinez Ricari, Juan Luis Lopez Palacio, Smarlon Martinez Caceres, and Victor Ortero San Jorge, going up against Bisora Rapol. That's going to be Angel Rodriguez, Carlos Arola, Killian Perales, and Xavi Cruz. We'll be back in just a moment's time, folks, with that third place matchup. Welcome back, everybody, to our coverage here of BullShooter Europe 2025. My name is Nick Teixeira, and we're in the third place match of the team cricket event. Bissora, Ripoll, and Honey A taking on the dartboard here. Looking forward to seeing this, as this should be a great matchup. This is Team Honey A in the blue, if I'm not mistaken. Should be a good matchup here. And you can see the team cricket strategy already off in full swing. Again, we'll kind of walk us through as we go for those unfamiliar, since it's not a commonly streamed format, what the strategy is here. Smartland up in the line here for Honey A. He's going to try to go ahead and grab the 20s and 19s. He's stuck at the 20s and just gets a 3 mark, but the 20s are now closed for Honey A, which gives them an opportunity to get points on the board on that number. Right now, you can see attack on the 19s. I don't think that's the correct shot. That was actually an error. He should have supported his partner on the 18s, just because the 18s are already closed. Now, neither of them can point in their next turn. They're just going to have to focus on closing numbers while they can get drilled by these 20s for a little bit. And then there's the grab of the 18s. Great play. So now this gentleman here can grab some 20s, some 19s, or can move on to 17, 16, 15 to try to preemptively grab numbers that they can point on. There's the 19. And then stays there to points. Ended up working out quite well because of that follow-up from the partner for 7 marks on the 19. So I guess I take my prior statement back a little bit. Maybe I was being a little too preemptive. Smartland does go ahead and shut down the 19s. Now he should be pointing with the rest of his darts. He does decide to grab the 18s to get the second number on line. Great shot if you hit it, and a great 9 there from Smartland. So now the only thing left to do is to grab 17s, 16s, 15s. You can start closing some numbers if you really want to, but I think getting numbers to point on is pretty important here. So a good 6 mark there, and it is just a 6 because you can't grab any extra points even though you have 4 16s. See, the 17s are grabbed there. Grabbing the 16s onto the 15s. No, back to 20s. Decided to point on the last. Great shot. Oh, this is some intense stuff we're seeing. Trip 17, trip 16, trip 17. A great 9 mark hit in response. This is quite the interesting battle going on between these teams at the moment. Smartland here. See what he's able to do. He's trying to get the 17 shut down altogether. Does do so. Might point this last start. Might close the 16s. He went for the hero close on the 16s. Now it's safe to have the 16s at least for a little bit there because he did not successfully close them. So 16s can get pointed on here. I think you might want to also consider grabbing some number. It's so tough. It's so tough to strategy in a moment like this. He's kind of stuck to grab the point lead. The problem is he also needs to grab 2 18s and 3 20s to start the finish the close on the 18s and start the close on the 20s. It's a tough spot to find yourself in. This should be a pointing turn. Yeah, that's a beautiful 9 mark for Honey A upstairs. These teams are playing with some fire. I'll tell you that much. Their reactions are subdued, but their darts are literally burning holes in their hands. Oh, stuck to the 16s. Wasn't liking it. Tried to start to open the 15s. Wasn't able to do so. So 2 16s, and then the 15 should be the shot here. Over to the 15. Good marker, potentially. Oh, kind of undersailed that last start. So the 15s are safe to try to grab for the other team now. So Doe's going to try to do exactly that. Needs to try to either close the 18s, the 20s, or the bulls on this last start. Chose to start the bulls. I think that's a wise decision. Finish grabbing the 15. Should start grabbing the bull. I don't think he needed to point there. I think that the starting that bull might have been an easier moment just because it's kind of the bull's the hardest one to close in one turn relative to any of the other triples, in my opinion. Not saying that these guys aren't capable of hat tricks, but just a factor you kind of have to keep in mind. Last start there went towards the bull. I think you needed some points on the 15 because now the 15s are gone. Can you find the double bull? Marlin does. What a good last start. Now 3 bulls away from Honey A taking leg number 1. And compared to earlier, this is a best of 3 since it's the loser side of the bracket. By the way, oh, that was an error. You looked at that wrong. He grabbed the bull and then tried to do double 18, trip 20, and read it backwards. The double 20, so I had to stay there for a single. But we're only playing one game at a time here, so there's no split board action. It's just a best of 3, and Honey A has leg number 1. Yeah, you can see that reaction from Doe there. He threw the bull, threw the double 20, and he's like, "Wait, I wasn't supposed to throw that double," and then hit the big single. Didn't make a big difference because there was nothing he could really do at that point in the game. So now we're going to be moving on to leg number 2 here. If Honey A wins it, it is over. The Sora Repul wins it. We get to a last leg decider to see who goes to that final. 6.33, very strong scoreline there. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. It's been a lot of fun covering some of these great darts here over in Salou, Spain at the Hotel Best Cap Salou. For our North American friends, you guys might recognize this gentleman at the line. That's Carlos stepping up there. Carlos, of course, a ESPN athlete, was one of our top 4, not last year, but the year before. Kind of just came out here through a qualifier, played in the Invitational, and swept everybody by surprise. So they're just going to re-warm up real quick here since it is one board at a time play, unlike earlier where they were playing on both boards, so they didn't really feel like they needed much warm-up. Just grabbing a couple extra darts here. The Sora Repul in a little bit of trouble. They're going to need to win this leg. It's all about working with your partner. When you're playing this, Team Cricket really does live up to its name. You guys have to talk your shots out every time. Walking up to the line. McCall27 asking, where are the Norwegians at? None left in this bracket. I believe it's only Spaniards left in this bracket. The 3rd place and then the finals. So, yeah, just Spaniards left in this bracket. This is just for this Masters, or excuse me, pro coverage here of the Team Cricket bracket. Did have a North American team fall just shy in that 4th place match. That's Brennan Kessler, Daniel Hawkins, George Daniels, and Kenny Tang. Just barely missed out on them. But there's a good couple teams here, and I know there was France was hanging out in here. I know that there was a few others. I'm sure that there was plenty of Norwegians in here. Just unfortunately, how the bracket ran down at the end. 24 very competitive teams. Kenny Tang saying hard teams out here, Nick. Yeah, I know. You guys are one of them. Absolutely. Hope you guys are having a good time, though. It looks like a lot of fun, a lot of positive vibes in the room, a lot of energy in the room for sure. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this trip. I know I am jealous. I'm still in Florida. And Basora Repul starts off with a 4 mark on the 20s, which is effectively a 3. Just got the close for the number 1 score line. Again, if you're having trouble or you have questions about this, let us know. Kenny Tang can tell you he's now an expert in Team Cricket, I'm sure. Kenny Tang saying Spain is a lot of fun. Good people all around. Absolutely. That's like one of my favorite parts. Just coming off an NDA team dart and working with those international players and then doing this event. The absolute energy and the positivity in the room. You can tell that these are people that love the sport. Carlos says go ahead and close those 20s. So now they're eligible to get point on by Basora Repul. Honey A gonna have to go ahead and start the 19s now. So 3 19s will get you the close, and you can start pointing. Well, awkward has to get by that dart because misses affect not only you but your partner way more than they typically do. So I get the hero dart. If you hit that trip, then that means your partner only needs a single 20 to close the big number. I get it. But also at the same time, you're kind of letting them take free shots of your 19. This is exactly what they're going to take you up on right here. Because you missed, they know that you can't close the 20. They have that security to be able to go for the aggressive shot. You got to be careful on your shots in team cricket. Hero darts hurt more in team cricket. So right now the shot should be a single 20 and 6 19s. That's your ideal shot. But you start 19s first because you're more focused on the point gap than you are on stopping the 20, I think, in this moment. And he's going 17s to try to get the second number. He's worried that the 19s will be closed. And so he wants to start another number so his partner has a chance to point. I don't hate it, but at the same time, you extracted 0 value out of closing that 19. You got 0 points off it. Yeah, good shot there from Carlos. So now to try to close the 17s for Honey A. They do so. Stays for a 5. Got some points on the board, extracted a little bit of value. 17s are going to start getting attacked, but they'll get at least one more shot at their points. 3 17s and then back up to the 20s is the expected shot here. Oh, but just a wall mark on the turn. So now you know your 17s are safe for 2 shots at it. So now your priority can start with, okay, grab that single 20 first, then you go back for points. This is a very big turntable flip because that was a very massive miss. I would make sure to hit a single 20 in this turn. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. He doesn't like how the dart felt, looks like, by that reaction. But now you go back to 17s and you just try to get as many points as you can. You don't have to worry about starting a new number yet because your 17s aren't in danger of getting closed. You're just caring about that point lead. And a little glitchy on those darts, but hey, job done. Carlos just going to try to push off the points here. Takes a hero dart, but that one does go. Again, hero dart's risky, but if you hit him, you're a genius. So this turn should be about extract. It's so tough because it should be about extracting value on the 17s, but you also see. Okay, now here's where I shoot the 20. You're only down 1 point. You're only down 1 point. You better close on this last third. If you miss, it's detrimental. Does hit it, so now you're a genius. Oh, that was a risky way to shoot it. I'll tell you that much. Still smart play, only able to close. So grabs 18s, closes the 17s down, and then starts the 16s. Now, same thing here, but you don't want to start 18s because you know that they're going to get a chance to have points on it first. So you need to start 16s or 15s first. And then if you hit both trips, then you can shoot the 18 anyways. So now you should probably go 15 or 18. This is a 50-50 decision. I think I personally would lean towards 15 and then 18. He chose 18. I don't like that position of the dart. Yeah, he stayed there and didn't collect, but still got the 16s tripped. That was the main thing that he needed done in that turn. 18 is going to get close here by Carlos, you would imagine. Does get there in the last dart. Left it to the risky moment. And now 16s need to finish getting close here. I think there's a strong argument to go to the 18s now. He's looking. He only took 1 dart at it. I mean, I'm not going to be mad about any time someone stays for 2 at the point 1 at the close. But at the same time, it's just so hard with the team play because it changes your shot selection. There's the 18s on the point. Now it's going for 2 16s. Missed the big number, though. Need to hit at least a single, but doesn't matter because he finds a trip on the last good 5 mark. Means the 16s probably go away in the next turn there for Basora or Pull. So Honey A should probably try to focus on getting as many points as possible since the 18s weren't successfully started on the close. Ram, yeah, it is definitely weird. As Ram Guevara says, it's weird to play Team Cricket. He played another event that was played like this. Yeah, there was actually an event at the Filthy Assassin Throwdown, and watching 4 different people explain to Alex Spellman how a game works is the funniest thing ever. I still say watching Alex Spellman and his team get like coaching each other on Team Cricket on the spot, because none of them have ever played it before, is top tier content, and I will never say otherwise. Look at that shot though from Carlos. Finds a beautiful 9. Basora Rapol looking likely to make this 1-1 and get to a last leg decider in this 3rd place matchup. Yeah, wasn't able to get the bull closed up. So back to the 15s to try to go on to the bull. Something happened that got his focus there. He looked frustrated. There, doesn't get the close in the 15s. I don't know if that's a big saving grace here. I mean, it is, because you can get some points on him now. Single 15. So that way your partner can go point on him in the next turn. And then, yeah, try to close the 18s. I think grabbing the bulls probably would have been better because your partner already has the X on the bulls. And now you're seeing Carlos here. He's just grabbing some points in the 18 first. Only other thing he could have done with that shot is start the bulls. I don't think he needed to start the bulls there. He was just trying to make sure the lead was secured. So I think that's fine. But this shot here should be all 15s. You try to extract some points on it because next turn it is going to get close. Or you can grab a single bull. That's your only other argument here. 18 is the wrong shot. 18 is the wrong shot. The point differential, you have no way to get back into lead there if you don't hit at least a single bull or another trip 15. Like that was your 2 options. Because now the 15s, you can't point on them anymore. And looks like maybe a cell phone notification there. Got him distracted. Or maybe he dropped his phone. I'm not sure exactly what that was. Yeah, he's just going to push on the points more. Make sure there's no doubt about this game. This is locked away for Basora Rapol. 3 bulls is the only thing this showman can shoot. Still got to hit 3 bulls to have it. The slightest of chances. And now he misses. So all his partner can do on his next turn is single bull, single 18 button. That is the only thing left to shoot. Single bull, single 18 is the shot here. Does do that, and he's used all 3, so he didn't have to hit the button. He said, I'm going to make sure to savor my quarters here. But 3 bulls needed for Basora Rapol. Bull number 1 is found. Goes high. He's going to have to move over on the hockey. Goes outside on the last. Frustrated there. But there shouldn't be any frustrations. I mean, here's the thing. You have to hit, 3 bulls to close, and then you need another 8. So I think you're fine. And to be fair, your partner can't do anything next turn. So you do get 3 darts before. So I guess if you went 6 bull, 6 bull, it would have been crazy. So there's 3. I was going to hit the button because there's literally nothing he can do with his turn. He is done playing the game now. He hit it too many times. Nope, that's not correct either. Yeah, they're gonna fix that. Okay. Yep, one more. There we go. Now we're good. We didn't need those extra rounds anyways, folks. Just a little confusion there. You have to hit as many bulls as possible and hope that they miss two. I mean, to be fair though, if the two bulls is missed, and it's not impossible to miss two bulls. I mean, we've seen Ram Guevara miss two bulls before. It's rare, but it happens. You can try to leave an outside opportunity. It's still going to be 6 bulls left. So that's tough. Yeah, because 150 points is what will be needed. Oh, no. Oh, no. 6 bulls needed, and they're going to have 6 darts for 6 bulls now if he doesn't hit double bull in this last start. Oh, no. 6 bulls and 6 darts is now what we're looking at here. Carlos can't shoot. There's nothing else Carlos can do. What the heck is going on? Look at that. Look at that. Little kiss. Little kiss for the bull. Oh, that's 2. Backs off the line for the maximum drama. Team Cricket, it's just built different. I can play this all the time, but man, once a year playing this is a riot. Especially, I know once a year commentating it, I love it. There's 4 bulls. Now they're 2 bulls away. Carlos can't do anything, so they're going to hit the button for Carlos. Don't let Carlos hit the button himself. Yep. Okay, there we go. We got someone else for it. 2 bulls needed. All of a sudden, it was down like 11 or 12 bulls. It is, and now all of a sudden 2-2. And Honey A might just take Masora Rapol's hearts out of their chest. But they still have to hit the 2 bulls. Look at the crowd. There's one. Oh, look at the crowd. They don't know what's happening. And it's hit. Look at them go wild. Honey A get the win, and they go to the final. Masora Rapol is out of this event. Wow, an absolute heartbreaker there. Carlos all smiles still. But yeah, that is that. Wow. Absolutely incredible end to that leg. If I tried to explain that to someone that's never watched a game of cricket before, they would not know what happened. I barely know what happened, and I consider myself now a pseudo expert in team cricket commentary because I've done it now. This is my 3rd time ever commentating this game type. BullShooter Europe last year was my first time, and then there was the filthy assassin. Rim Gafar said that guy was ready to practice. Yeah, you're not wrong. You ain't a woofing. This guy is ready to throw some darts. You can already see Entree Dart 1 quickly making their appearance here to the finals area. We're going to get set up real quick. I'm going to have another throat lozenge because I'm still losing my voice. We're going to get set up here for the finals of Team Cricket. That's going to be Honey A and Entree Dart 1. We will be right back with another great matchup. Welcome back, everybody, to our coverage of Bullshooter Europe 2025. My name is Nick Teixeira, and we got the finals here of Team Cricket, and it's always my favorite. So let's strap in, sit back, relax, and have a great time watching some great darts from some competitive teams. As you can see right there, some closes right off the bait from right off the gates from both teams. This is a best of 5, 2 people play at a time. Now, instead of like the seat match where we had them split between 2 boards, it's just all on this board for the final. So strap in, sit back, relax, and let's watch some darts, folks. Entree Dart 1 comprised of Celestino Jimenez Iglesias, and then David Ruiz Batista, Javier Morero Barrasso, Raul Encinias Ortega, and Ricardo Fernandez Caballo. And then Honey A is Daniel Martinez Ricari, Juan Luis Lopez Palacio, Smarlin Martinez Caceres, and Victor Ortero San Jorge. So let's go. Let's have fun. Vamos, everybody. And sorry for my poor pronunciations. I'm just trying my best. Entree Dart 1 is your seat holders here. So just a reminder, they win this best of 5. They are your champions. Honey A has to win 6 legs and a total 3 here and 3 in the next. Look at the situation, though. Early struggles for Entree Dart 1. Single 20 closes the number for everybody, but you need to focus on that 17. That's why you confirmed with this partner. 17 is here important because of the fact that you need to start getting points on one of these numbers. I might pop the single 20 in the last. No, goes to the 19, grabs himself a second number. Now coming to the player 4 scoreline here, right now Smarlin should be looking at a trip 19 to close out that number fully, and then a trip 18 to grab the second number. Maybe in the opposite order, but that should be the shot. Starting the 18s. Going to be stuck there for all 3, but they will have the insurance policy on another number and a couple more points along the way. It's a good last start trip. On player 1 scoreline here, should probably focus on getting this point lead back. Does do so. I wasn't able to start on the 18 closing as well. Frankie Z saying, Nick, I'll bring you to El Paso for Spanish lessons. You'll be fluent by the time you leave. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all, my hombre. Yeah, pops the single 20. Now should be back at pointing. Just 2 big singles. Smarlin here in that going for scoreline. I think I really want to see him grab the 19 here. He agrees. He might pivot after the first. Oh, he's staying. Finds it there. Looks like he's starting the 17s as well. If he hit the trip 17, it would have been left to eligible to close on the next visit there from Honey A. Entree Dart 1, on the other hand, now is going to be forced to point on as many 17s as they can find. Completely blocked up. So decides to go to the 16 the last start. Wise decision to give them an insurance policy and another number they could potentially point on. If you're watching this back, or you're watching this and you have no idea what's happening, just remember both teammates have to close the number before any points can be scored, which changes your shot selection significantly. So still going to be back at the pointing. Has a 1-point lead. I don't like that last start closing the 18. I think that last start is either still at the 17 or you go and grab the 16 and give your guys the second number. I don't think that's the moment. I think you shoot the 18 once you have a more definitive lead. I kind of want to see Smarlin here because the 16s weren't shot to grab 2 17s. I think that's a really smart play. He's staying at the 18s. He only grabs 3 singles in the skinny segment. Now this shot makes more sense with the 18s because he can go back, pushes off just a little bit more. Was able to find the trip 18, so now they're 2 18s away from being able to get that closed. 18 should be pointed on this whole time now by Entree Dart 1. So shot here regardless, because your 17s are safe. You should shoot two 18s first. Your 17s literally are safe, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now you go back to the 17s. Or, yeah, 16s also works to grab the second number. Maybe a little indecision, or he also pointed his head. So maybe he thought the 19s and shot the wrong dart. I'm not exactly sure based off that reaction. 16s would have also worked to get a second number online. Smartly could only close numbers here. Hits a good 6 mark, gives him some other options available. This should be a pointing turn. It is a pointing turn. A good 7 mark on the 17s. Frustrated on that last start. No reason to be. That's a great shot. The shot should also be at the 16s or 15s. Chose the 15s. And we stuck there for a 3 mark. Made it a 5. Now this shot here probably should be 3 16s to get the second number. Oh, awkward second dart. Yeah, he almost made it work. That's a well-placed last dart. Just doesn't quite go in his direction. You can see they're having a whole discussion over there. Smarlin here and Honey A in a little bit of trouble. Not a lot of it. There's the debate about pointing versus going for the 17s. He's taking a look. Went down and outside on the double, trying to set up a potential close. Overall, I think I like that sentiment on the shot. Should be at 17s or 15s. It would be the shot here. Might be 15 on the last. No, stays for 3 in the bed. Entree dart 1. Doing some good stuff. Grabs 16. Gain a little bit of points off it, but only single 16 needed to close that number. Trip 15 to start the close. And then back to 17s for points. Great shot there. He throws his arms up. I don't think he expected the last start to count as a trip. Has his headphones in. I don't even think he heard the board sound. Stuck to the 15s. This might be the last round they can point on him. Because 3 15s on the next turn is all it's needed to close them. One, 2, and 3. You can be frustrated, but your 3 in the bed lets you shoot that 3 mark, so you shouldn't be too mad about it. I see so many of these players, they're more emotive than ever here for our BullShooter Europe. And let me tell you, it's okay. Sometimes a shot's just what you need to shoot. It doesn't have to always be fancy. Good hat trick there for Honey A, just in case. Might be 3 bulls. Might be a couple points. I like the points. Can you use that to find a double bull? Oh, so they won't be able to finish in this next turn. But that trip 17 really makes it hard here. Smarlin can at least point on the bulls here if he hits 4. Does grab 3, so the bulls are eligible to be pointed on, and we've seen a big loss in the last matchup there in the 3rd place. 6 starts missed for 2 bulls led to 12 bulls deficit being recovered. Something you just don't really see. That hat trick there means that they're 1 bull away for Entree Dart 1 to take a 1-0 lead in this matchup. Lacio just a little frustrated in that moment. Felt like they were in that leg, and they had moments where they were definitely controlling the leg as well. Does find the ball in the last. A little risky if he doesn't find it, because it would have left them 6 darts. See Javi stepping back out to line right here. They're going to re-warm up, and now it's going to be the next 2-on-2 matchup. So just a couple warm-up darts, a couple cervezas, and a good time. That's what we've been having here. We are down to our second to last day of coverage. Might have an evening session tonight. It will probably be abbreviated evening session, but we'll have an evening session tonight. And then tomorrow, let's actually take a look while they're still throwing some warm-up darts between the legs here. But tomorrow we will have the singles 501 event and then the mixed triples, which mixed triples will not be streamed from my understanding. But at the very least, we will be getting that pro bracket in the morning. So some good stuff indeed. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. Literally lost my vocal cords calling this stuff today. We'll see about we'll try to do mixed doubles tonight. I will be honest, my voice is really starting to struggle here, so might have to be no commentary, but at the very least we can probably go live for it. All right, they're just confirming everything's good to go before starting off this leg here. They're all just about ready. I think that's what that exchange just was. Yeah, and here we go. Entry dart 1. If they win this, they will be at match points. Honey A trying to make this a chalk affair in this matchup. Just confirming the starting order, and here we go. Again, the best possible opener you can hit in this format is a white horse. There's literally no other opening. The only other option for an opening would be potentially doing a weird bull thing, but let's be honest, a white horse is the best opening in this scenario since you can't point on your first turn. Should move off the 19. Yeah, it does do so. Now, Javi's shot here should start 19 since it wasn't successfully closed. If he hits it, then try to start the close on the 20. There's the 19s. There's the start of the close on the 20s. It does do so. Good shot there from Javi. And now Honey A should be focusing on trying to close the 20s and getting points on them. Grab the points on him. Should be able to just stay if he wants. I think that's a good stay just because you want to de-incentivize going to close on this turn on the 20s. You want, because right now they have to start 19s regardless. You just don't want them to take a hero dart at your 20. If they do, you want them to do it from behind. Does do so, knowing that it would take 2 rounds to close on the 19. So it's still the right shot, but the 20s aren't closed. So point lead can get regained, and you can continue to attack the 18s if you want. I think you get a little tricky here. Starts the 19s. Interesting dart. And then goes back on up. Grab some points. It's just interesting that they started the close there. Javi's main goal here is going to be betting this 19. That's what he's going to be thinking about. There's one. Oh, it goes outside in a second. Just a 4. Now it's a very wise decision as Honey A should be able to close these 19s here with just a 3 mark. That's going to be the main goal of this turn. And we talk about it in any form of cricket, but it's especially true in team cricket. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish this turn? Because it affects your partner's starts as well more than normal in this format. 18s or stays there? He stays there. He wants to really solidify that point lead for Honey A. Nothing wrong with that. Entree Dart 1 here. Now going to be focusing on grabbing the 18s. Try to close the 20 in the last start there. I mean, you have to try to close on that turn. So that is the right shot. It just doesn't feel good knowing how many points you are down, but it definitively is the right shot at a 145 point deficit. 2 18s. Yeah, you got to start 18s though. Yeah, I don't like that shot selection. Don't be wrong. Points always is a good idea, but your main goal was to hit 2 18s and then go back to the points. I don't think that your main goal is to get points then shoot 2 18s when you have a 145 point lead. Now 105 point lead, 205 point lead, excuse me. Six 18 starts to help recover that deficit, but just a start. Again, should be 3 18s on this turn and then back to the 20s. Now here I can understand pointing it up just because it only is a single on this next turn to close the 20s. How about that 9 mark there? And the reason why the point lead, by the way, is instead of cricket 200, it's cricket 400 for team cricket, is because sometimes there is turns where the only shot that you're eligible to shoot is points. But it also means that there's times where you can also just exercise that issue as well. They're decided to start opening another number and trying to grab some points in the 18. Interesting selection there for Entree, just because the 18 should go away this turn. No matter what, the main shot here should still be 2 18s. You're up enough points where they can't recover it in that amount of time. He's looking 17s. I know you need to start a number to be able to point on, but now you're guaranteeing that they get 6 more darts at their points and they can start recovering that deficit. This might be Entree Dart 1 needs to bed the 18s here. Or close the 17s, actually. The 17s close is actually really strong. Now that I look at the board again. Oh, but if you don't close the 17s, it basically loses the leg. Unfortunate. Because now the shot here is going to be close to 17s. Just needs 1, 2, 3. And does do so with a little extra points on top. Over 300 points ahead, 5 points ahead. Does go ahead and grab some points on this 18 there, but again, 2 18 should be shot. 2 18s here, and then you can move along and start grabbing the side pockets. He's a big single on this last. Does hit it there. Avi, all he can do is 16, 15 bull. You can shoot the single 17 if he wants as well, but frankly, the point differential is too heavy for that to even really help. Yeah, and he's stuck at the 16s for all 3. Just a 3 mark on turn. This is going to be a 1-1 in this matchup, folks. Now just going to contest the 16s. And then should be able to move on over to the 15s as well. Points in the last start. They're continuing to pile on the pressure, leaving nothing to chance of this leg. That's what we're seeing right now. And the finish goes into 16s for Honey A. They do so. Again, really can start the close on the 15s here. There's no real reason to continue on to the points at this point unless you're making a statement. And look at the crowd. There's a lot of support there for Honey A, it seems. Oh, honey, honey, do, 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 do. Yeah, and there it makes sense to close the 17 and last because you had nothing else you can do except start the bulls. So here, 3 15s. Awkward dart's going to have to move well over. Maybe switch for the double. Can you see that triple? He can. It's a great dart. And yeah, stuck to starting the hat trick. Hopefully getting his partner shot bulls. Doesn't do so. Floats the last start. Honey A is now 6 bulls away from a 1-1 tie in this current matchup here in the final. Oh, doesn't finish getting the bull after the first double. That's a Nick Teixeira method. Find the double ball in the first and then miss. Really good at that one. Threw an extra double bowl for fun. Literally nothing else he could have really done there. So yeah, he just kind of slung that dart up. It would have been a cool double bowl otherwise. Now they both missed their last start at the bowl. So the shot here should be all bulls. Try to get as many points as possible. He went for all the closes. I just don't. I mean, they're going to hit the close in 2 turns, right? So the only chance you had was to follow with 12 bulls. Still a ridiculous scenario, but yeah, now there's nothing he can do except points. Literally, it's not even to be rude. It's just there's nothing else he can shoot at. Almost at the 400-point limit. That's a great 5-bull turn, but now only 1 bull needed for Honey A to make this 1-1 in the finals. Yeah, great performance from Honey A in that one. Entree dart 1. Gonna have some work to do. Trying to get to that match point. They will get the start of this next leg, and it looks like Javi will be back up at the line for this one. They're just going to get their couple warm-up darts in. Shouldn't take too long, but I mean, who doesn't like some good warm-up darts? Just going to continue warming on up here. Guys, I'm excited for this next round of action here in this matchup. I always love this format. It's just so different. Troy Leroy tuning in from New Zealand saying, morning, mate. Gotta ask though, little boom. WTF we watching here? 4-man ticky-tacky. How we keep up? What's happening on the screen here, mate? All right, we're going to re-explain it even though this is like 3. Welcome to the party late, Troy Leroy. This is the BullShooter Europe Finals in Salou, Spain that we're looking at right here. In Spain, they love this team cricket format. It is a very unique format. We've seen it here in the States very rarely. It's usually a niche one-off format, but man, it's one of my favorites. So unlike normal ticky-tacky, you and your partner, instead of playing together on the same score, are played on 2 different scores. So you see 1 and 3 are playing together, 2 and 4 are playing together, and both you and your partner have to have a number closed before you can point on a number. Good 6 mark there on the 19s. Does get the points going. But single 19 here closes the number for everybody. Then back up to the 20s to point for more for Entree Dart 1. Entree Dart 1, that team on the left score line. Honey A on the right score line. So Smarlin here going to be pushed to the 18s. He needs to start the close. Now might take the swing at the 20 to start the close over there. He's looking at 17. Now he's looking 20, right? He has to be. There he is. Finds a white horse. Normally I do a noise, but boy, oh boy, is my voice going away. So all he could do there was close numbers. He couldn't point at all. And now the 20s under some attack. 17s are contested there by Entree. A good 6 though. Smart last start on the 20 to continue to add points. Another shot here should be probably 18s or 17s. It depends on what your partner wants because the 17s are contested. Javi and Smarlin having some fun over there. Grabs the 18s. Trying to close the 20s. I like this play quite a lot. That's a great close because now they're going to get at least 1 more shot at their 18s, if not 2 more shots. It's a good shot selection because now the 17s should be the shot here. Has to start 17s to get the points online. Is going to be stuck there for all 3. And now Smarlin gets an opportunity to regain the point lead. All he has to do, because he can't close 17s, he already hit that trip, is to just point on the 18s and try to get as many points as he can get. There's the trip. Doesn't get another. Had to miss eventually. But he's right back to hitting. Now a 25-point lead to Honey A. And Javi in this situation going to be forced to try to get some points back on the 17. He really wants to start that close on the 18 at some point. He's kind of trapped. He does take the swing up there. So now he started the close on the 18s. Now the only shot available, you can close the 17s if you want, but the next shot will have a chance to close the 18s. So you need to get the point lead back first before shooting that 17. Now, if you shoot the 17, it's huge. You might only take 1 dart. He's going to stay up there for 1 more. Now you should look at the 17. If you hit it, this is a massive 9 here for Honey A. And he pulls it to the right. Now, same shot here. Now, the next shot doesn't have a chance to close 17, so I would try to close the 18s here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Now you have to bail out, though. You're not close to the trip. He does still stay. So Smarlin, the only thing he can do here is close new numbers. So he's going to go 16, 15, and then bulls. He's going to be stuck at the 16, though. Does find the Maloney double on the last. And Javi, where he's going to be stuck now, is just trying to get that point lead back because the 17s are at risk on the next turn to close. So you're going to try to point and recover that deficit. Oh, and then what a magnificent shot this is from Javi. And then he goes to try to start the 15s on the last. I think I would have personally told him to stay on the 17s for 1 more. So trip 16 gets you the ability to point on the 16s. Trip 17 closes the number. He has to start 16 to make sure his partner has something to do the next turn. And he's going to be stuck there with a 3, maybe a 5. And then there's the 15s. Gonna try to grab the 6s. No, goes back to the points. I like the shot at the points. Finds a 6. It's a good 6 mark there. So now Smartland's at an opportunity here. He can point on the 16s, yes. He can't do anything on the 17s. And he could start the 15s if he wants to, but I don't think this is a good spot to do it. Yeah, discipline stay. Because he knows no matter what, the Entre Dart 1, if they hit 2 15s, that means that they have a second number online now. So the goal should be to honestly trip the 15 here. And it helps you with that point deficit as well. That's exactly what Javi's going to do now. He's going to have to stay. That's fine. Tripping last. He's frustrated by it, but it's enough. Troy, this is a very confusing format. You just kind of have to keep watching it for a bit, guess what they're doing, and get it wrong. This is my 3rd time ever commentating this type of game format. I did it twice last year. Boy, oh boy, it's something different. 17s are gone. Back to 16s to points. This is close. This is getting risky. It's a good find on the last note for Honey A. Entre Dart 1 now needs to focus on regaining their point lead. You're trying to set up a point lead so that way your partner can start the closing attempt. Oh, and that is just, you can see his face. Disgruntled darts. So Smartland should be able to start with 3 15s. And now, can't do anything else except point or go bulls. I would be pointing here. I'm going to try to bed that 16 with the rest of my darts. And it is a good 5 mark. Javi's just going to have to focus on getting as many 15s as possible, knowing that they're about to get closed away. He doesn't like the position of the dart. I'm surprised he's moving to the left of the Aki. Maybe not. He's a genius. And then decided to kind of wing one at the 16 there. I think the tripping the 15s is more important because now it's only a 3 mark need on the 15s to close with the point lead going into the bulls. We see how much the bulls can mess up these teams here in this format. Tori Gilstrap saying, what an interesting way to play cricket. Man, it is so interesting. This is my favorite once a year to commentate style of format. Because if I do this all the time, I'd be losing my mind trying to keep up with everything. Everything happens so fast in this format. So it should be an interesting turn here for Smartland. Go try to grab 3 bulls. Let's grab 3 bulls. Now 3 bulls away from having a 2-1 advantage after being 1-0 down. Javi just going to try to grab 3 bulls. Now to the double 16 or trip. Troy Ram is not there. He was just in Spain not too long ago, but he's not there for this event. But the flight, I think it's a good 14 hours, I'm going to say. It's not a short flight. No, I'm doing this one remotely, Troy. I'm not in Spain right now. Double needed for the win. Oh, and now this is quite the opening. This can get very interesting here. Very careful on your shot selection. You need to grab 2 bulls first. 1 more bull, and then trip 16. Trip 16. Give your partner a chance to win the game. That's exactly what we tried to do. If he hit the trip 16, it would have left a potential game shot, but now no game shot will be available for his partner. Smartland is only going to be able to point on the 16s. He can't do anything else except hit a 3 in the bed on the 16s. And this shot here is just going to be pointing on the bulls. You have to get the point lead back, knowing that your opponent only needs one bull for the win. You have to stay in the bull. You're down 3 points. Your opponent only needs one bull. So I think he was just double checking that. It's unfortunate because you need to shoot that single 16 to give your partner a game shot, but you can't shoot it because you have to take the dart away. He's not going to miss 3 darts for one pull. You can't count on that. You have to add at least one more dart to his throw. And now Honey A up 2-1 in this matchup. We might be going to a second set here if Honey A wins one more. Entree Dart 1's going to need to rally here. They did not have the same momentum. Who are you confusing for Ramback? I don't see no one that looks like Ram. Might be those New Zealand beer goggles doing some trickery on you, my friend. Ram was in the comments earlier, though. He was hanging out. He's probably going and bullying people online on a dartboard. Accidentally hit start 1 too early, so he backed out of it real quick. You can see Nick Wesco back over there. Got one of our North American friends in the background. Vasio just explaining, hey, we're all good here. Just letting him know, hey, we accidentally backed it out too far. And they were just saying, yeah, it's a forfeit. And he's like, no, don't forfeit me. That was the whole discussion, I assume. But probably way more manly and Spanish sounding. All right, here we go. Shorts and a red dart jersey pops up in the background a few times now, mate. All right, I'm looking. I'll be looking right now for shorts and a red jersey. But here we go. Entree Dart 1 needs to get this win. Going for the white horse on the open, finds the 20. Now going to be stuck at the 19. He gets close on both. Palacio does a good job on the open. Single 20 in his last start is needed here. And Honey A does have the darts, by the way. I forgot to mention his alternating start. Smart to go back to the 20 down to the 17. No, ignores the 17 from his partner. Very interesting board state. Palacio here should just be focusing on closing other numbers. 18, 17, 16. Stuck at the 18. Only a 1 mark on the turn. Entree Dart 1 now has an interesting opportunity. pointing all he can. Finds a 9 on the 20. That's a great shot there because you knew that the 20 is probably going to get close with a single on the next turn unless you hit a big shot. Very massive. The shot here should probably be a single 20 and a trip 19 still. That's your main goal is to get the 19s for you and your partner, but you also want to just go ahead and grab the 20. You don't want another round at it with a 400-point limit. Single 20. Yeah, he agreed. See Palacio giving a little bit of a head nod with it as well. Trying to close to 17 so him and his partner can start pointing. Let's do so. I think 2 19s here is pretty strong, but it's a little risky if you only hit a single. He does grab the 2 19s. Man, they are not afraid of their Maloney doubles out there. I'll tell you that much. Two 19s to get the close. Does do so, but starts the 18s. Does a little bit of a kick with that last start. There's the 18 grab. Now it should be probably a 17 to contest the close or start a second number. And then now this dart, 16 or 15. Big shot here for Honey A. It's a solid 7. Good shot, the 18. Back to the points. That's exactly where he went. Looks like Andre Dart 1 has a great holding here so far. Troy saying, speaking of Mickey Six, that's Mike Maloney, if you're curious. I got Mike winning on Tuesday, 9-6. It's on Monday, but New Zealand time Tuesday. Just clarifying for everyone in chat. And needs the bets on the states on plastic. Yeah, I would love to see some sports betting involved in soft tip darts. There's definitely a few more things that you need to regulate, especially with misregistering darts and how the rulings would work in different scenarios. But it would be so cool to see that as like a bucket list item here for North American darts. On a good pointing around there. Entre Dart 1 continuing to point up on the board. Palacio here has an opportunity to grab 2 numbers online. There's the 16s. He might shoot the 15s as well, just because it guarantees you so many darts at points. I don't like the close on the 17s here. I don't think that's the right shot in this moment. I do think you have to try to grab the 15s if you're going to grab something else. Like right now, this shot should probably be 2 16s. If you trip on the first, you shoot the 15. If it takes you 2 singles, you go back to 17. That's what I would be telling my partner right here. My goal is to start the close in the 16 and continue to make sure my point lead's not in jeopardy. Only shoot the 15 if I'm all ahead. But there, first trip on the 15, now it should be 2 16s instead because you took the risky dart first. You can see the whole team's having a debate about it. Yeah, stay there. Big single. Oh, misses the big single. You can see his reaction on his face. Knows it was a minor mistake. This shot here is all points at the 16 that we're going to be seeing. Misses on all 3. Honey A knows that they're in some serious trouble now for this leg. Yeah, grabs the 15 over to the 16. Doesn't trip the last, but it's going to be all right because now they got their second number online as well. Meaning Palacio here, his shot to 17 was just very untimely. He could have contested that 15 instead. He's stuck to that 16. There's not much he can do. Finds a 6. It's a good shot. But now the shot here should just be as simple as a single 16 in points or a single 16 and start the bull. He chose the single 16 in points route. Same thing here for this shot. This shot should only be 16s again. Last time failed to find any. Seem to be his antithesis at the moment. His nemesis only gets 1 out of 6 darts. Now 2 16s here and then onto the bulls. Grabs a single bull there, sets up his partner to hit a hat trick so he can return with 2 bulls. Needs to hit a hat trick here to let his partner. No. There's no reason to shoot that 17 there. You have to throw a hat trick to force the opponents to have to deal with the bulls so you can have a chance at pointing. It's a low chance, but we literally saw a team come back. One team sitting on 2 bulls, the other team sitting on 12. We saw that comeback. That is a giant vape. What the heck is that? Normally I don't call it out directly, but man, oh man, that thing was like a giant flashlight. 2 bulls needed though to send us to a last leg decider. Does do so. So now it's 2-2. One more leg. If Entree Dart 1 wins it, it is over. If Honey A wins it, we move on to another set. Yeah, you can see them getting a couple more warm-ups, but everyone's starting to gather for this final. You can kind of take a look. There's a lot more people than just what you see on the side there. So many people right behind you while you're playing is so intense. Looking at the diddle here, Entredar 1 outside on the bull. Honey A also outside, but I think a little bit closer. It's close, but I think he got it. Here we go. Honey A and Entredar 1. Time for, as Cassie Curry said, it's some fun cricket. Now this is going to be 4-on-4 for this matchup. For this last leg decider. So here we go, folks. Entree Dart 1, your seat holders. They want to win this and be your champions. Honey A trying to send us to a whole nother set. If you're Cassie, you're cheering for Honey A because then you get a whole nother best of 5 of this. We're about an hour into this matchup. That's the one thing about this format is they lead to some very long games. Looks like maybe a player had to take a quick restroom break or something. The anticipation's killing me. Or maybe they're deciding the orders. One of the two. Yeah, it looks like they're looking at a roster sheet of some kind. Just confirming everything was good to go. So here we go, guys. Palacio for Honey A to start things off, looking for a white horse. And hits a white horse to start things off for Honey A. Best possible opening you can hit in this format. Going first is hitting a white horse. Now Entree Dart 1. Going to be trying to at least start the 17s, 16s, 15s. Maybe contest upstairs. Does decide to contest upstairs. It's a good 6. This puts a little bit of pressure here because now Honey A, if they fail to close the 20, all of a sudden can completely flip things around. So your main goal is get the 20. Right under the wire. Should be able to walk into a trip. Stuck there for all 3. Needs to make sure to hit at least a single. Does find a trip on the last. Now the shot here for Entree Dart 1 is going to be to grab the 17s. Does grab the 17s. And wisely takes a look at the 20. The reason he did that is because the 17s are guaranteed to be able to be pointed on again. This last start here should be either a 19 or back to the 17s. Shows the point on that last start here. So now the going first scoreline that we saw Palacio start off. It's going to have having a little bit of a debate here real quick. Looks like they're confused about the ordering. And now they got everything sorted. Yeah, there you go. Smartland's like, yep, my bad. I just told everybody the wrong thing. So Smartland here should only be going 17, 16, 15. As the 20 or 18s and 19s can't get pointed. That's going to be his next shot. It's going to really focus on these 17s here. It's going to take all 3 to close. Does do so. Not much else. I mean, yes, you could have also gotten the 16s and 15s started, but it's still good because it enables the 17s to get closed on the next rounds. And then it becomes a very different scenario. So the 17 should get pointed up a bunch here. Oh, all right. Maybe he didn't like the position of his flight. Move over to 19s and be able to set up a close on the next turn. And he chose to stay. If he does hit that last start, it forces a 6 mark for your opponent. You still need to grab a number to be able to point on. So this is tough. So if you grab 3 19s, that's probably the safer option. So I would start 19. If I trip at any point, I take the look at the 17. That's what I would do here with only a 6-point deficit. Because the player 1 scoreline has nothing to do except close right now. He starts 17. So he has to make sure to close the 19 or 18 here successfully. And now go 18. You can say 19 for points if you want. But 18 is massive if you hit it. Now, you can shoot 18s here if you want, if you're Entree Dart, but this is already a very scary situation to find yourself in. So starts 18. Then you can go and start to close on the 19 if you want, or you can start working on another number for yourself. 19 is probably the better of the 2 options right here. And now there's no thinking. It's just 16 or 15. He is eating up this moment. Oh, it almost goes on the last. Looks good, but doesn't quite stick. So then Palacio here on his turn, he can focus on just pointing up. He can't do anything about the 18s right now. Yeah, this is a great shot. 3 in the bed there for Honey A and Palacio. Stuck to the 18s. Needs to get more points on him. No, that's not the time where you shoot the 19. We're seeing some really weird closing times in this. You know that the 18s are going to get closed. You know that 2 18s are about to get shot. The best thing you could have done there is get extracted more value and more points out of those 18s. 2 18s is going to get closed here every time. If you are going to switch off the 18s, it's to start your next number. It's a trip 16 there. James push the envelope, but this first set is almost guaranteed now for Honey A unless something crazy happens. Wisely goes to the 15 there to give themselves some more darts at points. Then back to the 16. Good shot selection there. Smarlin's going to try to get the 16s online and then contest the 15s. Just going to be on the singles for the 1, 2, 3. 2 numbers online. Doesn't matter if you're frustrated or not. Still a good shot there, Smarlin. Fifteens are able to be pointed on. It's going for the closes. Now this close I don't mind nearly as much, although that was a hero last start. Because if you do hit it, at least you get the opportunity to get 3 darts at the 15 guaranteed. But because the last start, it's so tough. Should start the 15 closing process though, regardless on this shot. Should be 3 15s. And now you can go back to the 16. You can start the bulls if you want as well. I think he's telling him to stay down. That's an awkward dart. And then moves on to the bull. Good double bull in the last start. And Honey A is going to be sending us to another set here. And that will be all she wrote for this first set. Honey A to win the first set of Team Cricket and send us to another best of 5. Here we go. Folks, strap in. Cassie Curry's dreams coming true. We're going to get another best of 5 of this. Now, 4 and 4 just played. I understand warm-up darts when it's 2 on 2 and then you take a break and have to play. But we just saw everybody play. What do we need more warm-up darts for? That is ridiculous. They're making sure they're still flying. Entre Dart can't believe that they lost that one the way that they did. They had the momentum early and then kind of let it taper off. That last like decider was just honestly nothing more than Honey A throwing really well. So we're just going to give him a few more minutes here. Garrett Rakowski in the chat saying, I like watching team cricket way more than playing it. Yeah, that was the second time I ever got a chance to commentate. Last year, I got to commentate this bullshit Europe, and then towards the end of the year, got to go to Filthy Assassin Throwdown where I got to watch you guys all play it. Man, oh man, it's so different. I will say though, as this being my third time commentating this game type, I'm quite the expert at team cricket now. And the next time there's like a Filthy Assassin type of event and there's a draft, I better go first round for my coaching abilities alone. Doesn't matter if I hit what I'm aiming at. I'll tell you guys what needs to get done. I'll sit in the chair. Hope you guys have been enjoying this. I know Cassie's loving every minute of it, as she said. We got Kiko, Nuria, Adriano, Bradley. Appreciate all you guys and everybody else watching along across the world, across our 3 different platforms. Cassie Curry, yeah, that was last year. Last year when I was commentating with an absolute fever, and it was team cricket for my first time ever seeing it, and they never clarified when I went into the commentary booth until the very first game. I was like, oh, team cricket, like NDA team dart. Cool. And then I go to commentate last year, and I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden I'm like, this is not the team cricket I grew up with. And then we saw the gentleman throw a 2.3 on the stream, hits the winning dart on the bull after missing several darts at it, points right at the camera, gives them a little bit of a wink while wearing a hat that just says Sunday, like the day of the week, in Comic Sans font. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen, and made me fall in love with BullShooter Europe and team cricket. And then, Gary, I don't know if you're here earlier when I was saying this, but I loved nothing more than seeing team cricket then get played at the Filthy Assassin Throwdown and watching 4 different people look at Alex Spellman, explaining him the strategy. Like, it's Alex Spellman. You don't really have to explain him much, let alone having multiple people on your team telling you you're shooting it wrong. It was hilarious. And I mean that in the most loving, respectful way to Spellman. It was just, you don't get to see that. It was, this format always brings out interesting moments. Well, they're still warming up here, just getting set up, maybe grabbing some refreshments. To be fair, admittedly, this is a long format kind of match. I think that first set took about an hour. Aaron Howard saying, maybe this is why I'm not good at darts. These dudes throw 100 warm-up darts and I throw 9. You know what? I know it's like a joke, and obviously it is a joke because like this is a little ridiculous. But at the same time, the discipline you see from the international players is pretty substantial. Like it is darts with the side of drinking. I feel like a lot of times you see here in the States drinking with the side of darts. So I got to give credit where credit's due. Even if this is not the time or place to be doing it, they should just be starting their second set of the finals. I also have to say at the same time, you know what? I got to give them credit. These guys are disciplined and want to do nothing but perform at their absolute best. But for real though, okay. Aaron, no, drinking is not warm up. There's actually turns out a little bit of a difference. That's neither here nor there. Yeah, they're still going. Hunter saying, at least I can win at one of those things. Yeah. Listen, you know what? I don't know. We probably, like, in the international drinking game grand scheme of things, maybe. But I don't. It's just the ferocity from these Europeans, man. I don't know. They're just built different. We're just gonna let them keep warming up here. You guys keep hanging out, chilling with me. If you have any questions and want to chit chat, I'm right here with you guys as well. Feel free to ask away. This is our Q&A section. Jerry Porter saying, if you need to use the restroom, it's about 10-minute round trip. To be fair, I don't know the layout of this event, but I do know that they're at the Hotel Best Cap Salou and that they're in the basement there. So it might be a pretty far trip. David Law, yeah, this is for the double dip. That's the first set of the final. So now it's a brand new matchup. Don't worry, folks. They just had to go buy brand new sets of darts as well. They had to buy new darts. They had to go sign some autographs, take some selfies. You know, all the things you need to do. To be fair, though, they all are having a good time right now. Let's see. Right now, I don't believe there's actually any other events going on right now. The mixed cricket should be starting here in a little bit. So I did confirm we will be live, but there won't be any commentary for the mixed cricket. I'm trying my best right now through constant throat lozenges. I literally have gone through almost a whole bag just today. And then lots of water, trying my best to not lose my voice anymore. But it is a little painful to talk right now. And with no co-commentator, it's a lot of talking. So I want to make sure we're bright and early, sharp and ready for that trios bracket that we're going to be seeing. Should be ready here just a moment's time. I've been saying that now for only a couple moments time. Yeah, Cassie's absolutely right. Week in Vegas, we'll do that. I did have a long week in Vegas, was starting to lose my voice. Turns out I had the Vegas flu, which there's always, if you go to enough dart tournaments, you're going to get sick at some point. Especially because there's so many people I'm usually trying to take selfies with, shaking hands, hugging, either people I haven't seen in a long time or people I'm just now meeting. And so there's all that factor, which is one aspect. But then the next aspect of it is the fact that I got better for about 2 days and then just randomly caught a cold. And I'm like, all right, great. I'm just going to be like this forever. All right, but here we go. We're ready. Guys, it's time for the second set of the finals. Blinking, you miss it. Look how quick we were to get things going. Aaron Howard, strap in. Someone give him a call. You can stop detailing your truck. Palacio almost started off with another white horse like we just saw. But still a great 6 in the open. Javi here going to be focusing on grabbing a number. So should start 18 or 17 and then swing back up for some closes. Starting 17. Adam saying just use text to speech. Oh, that would first off, you guys would see that I really can't type that fast, let alone accurately. And two, only if it's in the voice of Will Stewart. Although Entree Dart 1, immediate woes, does not close anything. Smarlin just going to focus on getting this 20 closed. Just 1, 2, 3. Grabs the 17 and then kind of walks away there for a second. This last start here should be probably at the 20. Yeah, it does go for the 20. Palacio now going to be pointing on said 20s. And then taking a swing, starting the 17. The idea being that they can try to get that shutdown before too much damage happens, but he goes outside on the double. So now this should start the 17 because the 20 is only tagged and doesn't have a full circle on it. I want to see a little bit more restraint. He's going up and he's trying to attack it, knowing that it would take 2 rounds to close the 17s. But I think he just there's so much momentum going for Honey A right now. You kind of want to slow him down a little bit. Palacio and Smarlin having a full conversation. I like the 19s here or the 17s. Grab the second number or start to close on the 17s. I think you start 17s there and then bail over to the 19. Palacio going to get those 2 17s and then back up to the 20. Their arms are, in fact, tired, as Aaron said, after their warm-up. Now, this shot here, you have to be defending your 17s because you know the next round is just a 3 mark to close. I don't mind the switch up there. A very interesting switch up on the second 2 darts. He knows the 17 should probably get closed here, and he wanted to try to give his team a couple more options. So he's forcing a decision right now to be made on pointing on the 20s versus closing the 17s versus starting to open the 19s. Now, of course, a 9 marks hit. A 9 marks hit should stay. Oh, what a big shot there. Honey A punishing the risky play from Entree Dart 1. Tried to close the 20 as well in the last there, as there was no pointing to be able to be done there for Entree Dart. 2 numbers up means that you can start taking some risks at some point here. 1 dart at the 18. Yeah, that's about what I'd expect. And some good playing there from Entree Dart 1. Trying to make some value happen on the 18s. With the 2 numbers, I really want to see Smarlin start the 18. So I think that it's important with your partner having 1 mark already on it, that if you find a trip, it's so massive. But doesn't do so. Starting to leave a little bit of a door opener here. Because this shot right here, I think single 20 and then 2 trip 18s is massive. I don't think 19s is the play. I mean, he's trying to close both numbers, right? Actually, it is the play. Hold on a second. He's a genius. Because now all of a sudden it forces the 18s to not be able to be closed, and you'll get a chance at a 7 mark for the point lead. This is why I like this format, because all of a sudden you think you know what's happening, and then a strategy can pull things in the other direction. Double 18 outside. Now you're playing. You did that shot so you could hit 7/18, right? That was the goal of the shot. It's not going to be 7. It is going to be 4, which does help the cause. With the point lead here, this is a tough call. I think the bigger priority is starting the 16 gives Palacio something to do. As soon as you close at 16, though, don't point. Yeah, you're going up to the 18. Okay, or you're staying on the 16. I knew that. I would stay at the 16 every time because he knows he's going to hit a 3 in the bed. Of course, that's what's going to happen. He figured it out. They just haven't found much success on the 18s. It was a smart play earlier. They just haven't looked comfortable pointing on it. 218 should be a shot here for Palacio. Needs to stay for a big single on this last. They let the 18 stay around for too long, but maybe it was wise just because of the fact that they weren't pointed on in a way that really hurt them. Last round of pointing on the 18s. Needs a trip on this last. Helps close the gap. But Smartland here knows that the 16s can't get close this next shot. So he needs to find 3 18s. It lets his partner get a big pointing round. So that's what you need to play here. Commit. You got to commit to the 18s. Does do so. Now, this last start, you can go 16 or 15. Either or is correct. I actually would go 15 here. 16 is good for the points, but there's no way for this next round to be anything except a shot of the trip 16, trip 15. So if you shoot the trip 15, you guarantee that they have nothing to point on until they go to the bowl. Trip 15, onto the 16. Misses the double on the last. Lots of doubles being thrown out here in Europe. What a last set there from Palacio. Third dart close on the 15s, or at least the start of a close. This is the final, folks. It's a good 7. Keeps their dreams alive. But Smartland here needs to try to hit 1, 2, 3 on the 15s. Hits it in 1. Now you're going back 16 here because the 16s can get close in the next turn. One more single adds a bull. Triple adds even more. Yeah, Cassie's saying, never seen so many doubles in cricket, not even from Maloney. Yeah, they've been, a lot of these Spaniards have really been using the doubles. Some better than others. It's definitely more popular than I think we see even over here. Single bull and 2 16s is all that's left to be able to hit in this turn. Does close the bull. Does help the cause. But now 3 bulls here. And then trying to point on a couple more. Avi, definitely kind of cooling off from earlier. I think he started to feel fatigue from the long weekend of him. He has really had some stellar moments in darts. Smartland go to the bulls now. I don't agree with this. You need to you can push the game along. You're up enough points in the scenario. Yes, that your 16s could get close in the next one. But I think you starting the bull, I think, is more helpful in that scenario. You're kind of prolonging this, and you're giving Entree Dart a little bit of frustration towards you, right? So they're going to force your hand now. And there's nothing that can be done these last 2 darts because he had no shot except to close the 16s. Palacio puts some 3 bulls away from their first true advantage into this final. So Smarlin here, 3 bulls on the mind. Nothing else to be able to do. This is where it does get risky, though. Is if he doesn't hit the 3 bulls, it gives a chance to the other team. Needs to fight at least a single this last start. And he does nail it there. Honey A up 1-0. Now they're going to switch to the next doubles pairing here. Of course, guys, we got to re-warm up. It won't be as long of a warm up for this one, just because it's just a partial break in between the matches. They have the sideboard, so they have been warming up between. But to be fair, the other 2 guys are sitting while the other 2 are playing typically. So I will give them at least a little benefit. It's not like they just came off a 4-on-4. Everyone just played and then they sit for 15, 20 minutes. They're wasting all their triples on warm-up, chat. Aaron and Cassie, they're about to start a riot. Oh, here we go. I'm hearing the buttons. I'm hearing the clicks. Guys, that was a way more respectable warm-up period. I'm going to give him credit. 10 points to Gryffindor. Entree Dart 1 gets the start in this leg, and they start off with a nice 6 mark on the open. Reagan Windsor in the chat, the best of the Windsors, saying, "What's up, Nick?" Well, hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in, hanging out as always. Honey A now should start 19 on this first start. Going to be stuck there until it closes. Steven Meter saying, does a heavier dart work better with this type of board? No, not necessarily. They actually have a more strict, not stringent, weight limit on your dart weight. So the old rule used to be 20 grams was the limit. Majority of board manufacturers nowadays have kind of removed that restriction. It's more by a vendor on vendor basis. Realistically, you can throw up to 24, 25 grams and be okay. Oh, looks like there might be confusion about the throw order. Uh-oh. Tell them pause. Victor's like, what did I do? I just want to throw triples, man. Hit the wrong button. Oh, boy. Here we go. He's saying, get out of here, Victor. I'll fix it. Okay, the game state's fixed. Now we got everybody here trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, boy. Cassie says, I use 18. Yeah, I think I'm using 18s right now. I was using a 19.5 gram barrel. GR Reed saying, stop talking during warm ups and breaks and save your voice. That's fair, except they're taking breaks and warm ups where they're not supposed to. And so I'm like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be on the mic and hanging out. And, normally it's like, okay, in between matches, take a break, drink some water, be good. Whoa. How'd that happen? All right. That was weird. I think someone accidentally hit a button on there. I'm remotely controlling the streaming computer from Europe, and I was wondering, I was not even hands on my desk when that just switched over. So sorry for that jump scare graphic. That being said, I don't know how long this is going to take. So we are actually going to take a quick commercial break and let them figure it out unless they're going to play through. Yeah. Reagan saying, I'm waiting for Augustine to run up to the board right now. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. But Augustine, he's probably schmoozing. He's working. He's doing whatever Augustine does. Yeah, there's one of the other staff members. They're figuring it out. Can we go ahead and finish up the game on the board here real quick? It looks like. Not exactly sure. Jerry Reed saying the board should show what players playing. I absolutely agree. It has the capability to do so, and it's actually one of the big things we're going to be trying to implement for next year. All right, there's still some confusion going on. We're just going to run some ads here real quick. It looks like as they continue to try to figure out what's happening. So we'll go ahead and be back in just a moment here, folks, and we'll be right back. Well, folks, this is a update here. We went ahead and got an update real quick. Looks like it was a throwing out a turn issue, and throwing out a turn in this format looks like it does lead to a leg forfeit. So it's now 1-1. Got to be a little heartbreaking there. So yeah, I just was waiting to confirm with Augustine there in the tournament crowd what exactly was going on in the ruling on the board. I had a feeling it was going to be 1-1, but wasn't sure or not. Sometimes it's a backup, sometimes it's a replay of leg. Yeah, this is a forfeit scenario. So now Entree Dart 1 does have a leg on the board. This is now the second time in the last 2 days there where we've seen someone do an error like that does cost a leg. So it happens like that sometimes, and it is tough. But that's why they have the team sheets. That's why it's so important to be able to communicate with your teammates and have someone in charge that says, hey, let's make sure we're having the right people in the right places at the right times. It's important to do that. Playing as a team works in multiple different regards. If you're Honey A, you're upset yourselves for that error. We saw as well with one of the other teams there, the Polish team actually forfeiting a leg for accidentally hitting a bull because they threw the double in before the board change over. And they are actually the first one to say, hey, that was our fault. We should forfeit the leg. So respect to them on that. Smartland here trying to close the 18s back to the match. Honey A on the left side of the score line here. Entree Dart 1 on the right side. 18s are closed. Only shot available here is to grab the 17s and start getting some points on the board. It looks like Honey A, though, is taking this a little bit of motivation. I think they accidentally fired themselves up in a very, very outside way. The battle still continues on, though. Entree Dart 1 are your seat holders for a reason, or were your seat holders. Now it's a completely chalk matchup again. Should grab the 17s here with the two-number pointing advantage. Smartland frustrated, but just 1, 2, 3 is all it's needed. Does get that. Starting the 16s to try to get points going. Trip does nothing on the last start there, but still nothing else he could really do except make sure he got the close on that number, and then could try to close other ones if the trip went in earlier. Shot here because you have the two numbers and points should be to start contesting that 16 so they can get closed. Is that a helpful or hurtful darts? That's the real question. Double on the last. Of course, the doubles are going on here. Interesting decision. I actually like that quite a lot in the sense that it does enable a backup plan on the 15s. I think that was the main goal there. And then points on the last start there. A little security there from Smartland. Grabs the 19s on the close there. I don't like that as much just because the 20s are still in play. I don't know. It's tough. Like right now, I would want to be starting the 15s on the close or betting the 20s. There's one of the two. Now the 15s are close. You're going to go up there and his main trip 20s as you can get. And hits a big 9. Honey A. Oh, honey. Do. Does hit a good shot. No reason to shoot the 20. They're basically kind of giving up on the leg here. There's at least a 3 mark on the 15s, and there's still over a 200-point difference. This is going to be Honey A taking a 2-1 advantage in the second set of the final. Marlon did need to find 30 bulls there to be able to set up the game shot, but still going to be okay with 2. Some definite frustrations being shown right now. There's a no look on the last bull there, it looks like. Nothing else he can do in that last start, so it just has to walk away. Trying to find the right angle. Again, nothing else to shoot here except the bull. So needs to try to find an angle to set the game shot. Well, doesn't do so. This is where things get interesting. We've seen things change in these moments. 3 bulls is the bare minimum on this shot. If you hit less than 3, you lose the match or lose the game for sure. But 4 makes things interesting. It's still, unfortunately, it's 200 points. So, yeah, unfortunately, still no game shot available. So, probably going to hit 1 bull and hit the button. But we've seen situations like this cause pressure before. 2 bulls is needed to still cross that finish line. They're going to get 3 darts now for 7 bulls. 8 bulls. 8-2. So, you need to try to get 4 here. That's really your goal. 4 and 4, hope for a miss. That's your only way to win this leg. Has that minimum 2. Bare minimum on the hit. 2 bulls here for Honey A to take the advantage. One more needed for Honey A. Their first true lead. I guess they did have the 1-0, but this feels different when you're on match point. Does hit it there. They are now 1 leg away from being your finals winners here for Team Cricket. Guys, guess what time it is? It's time for warm-up darts. Let's go. Can we get some shout outs in chat for warm-up darts right now? Can we do that, please? Aaron says no. Cassie says W warm-up darts. Let's go. W's in chat. We love it. It's only day 3 of a 4-day event. Now's the time where the warm-up pays off. They're all saying, oh, Peppers, see you tonight, birthday boy. Well, happy birthday, Peppers. All right, everyone's confirming the team order real quick. Maybe a little bit of impassioned speaking. Looked away for 1 second. Oh, there's some brotherly love. All Yeah, imagine if Honey A was out of order and it goes to last thing decider and Entree Dart hasn't actually thrown a single winning dart in the second set. I couldn't even imagine. Javi, we'll get the start here. Here we go. Well, Entree Dart, stay true. 5 mark on the open. We've been seeing the 6s and 9s cause a lot of success. 5 doesn't feel nearly as detrimental. Gonna try to contest these 19s immediately. Up to the 20. Oh, doesn't go. So now going to try to get the 20s established here for Honey A, or Entree Dart, excuse me. Just fails to close it though. Honey A now has a big opportunity. Should start with the 19s. This could be a massive early advantage. A 6 mark here does so much. Interesting to contest the 21st. So contest the 21st. Javi can do nothing here except hit a single 19 and then move along to 18, 17, 16. Solid shot there. Nothing else he could have really done except just continue trying to close numbers. Palacio here has an opportunity now for 220s to grab the 20s. Needs to stay there for points. Does do so. Now this shot right here should be a single 20 and then trip 19 or trip 17. I think you have to start single 20 here. And you shoot on the last at least. Does get it. And now it should be 3 19s to get the 19s online. And then all of a sudden it's 19s versus 17s, and it's a favored battle for Honey A despite going second. Folks, are you keeping up with this? We're almost 3 hours into streaming our team cricket, and this is a very troublesome moment here. This will be hard to find triple, but a much needed one. Oh, what a last dart. Good recovery on the last. Gonna get the points back up online. Stayed there. The only other option was to try to get those last 2 18s, but it doesn't help out too much in this moment, so I agree to stay on the 17s. Palacio trying to get that point lead regained as well now on the 19s. Good trip there. Stays there for a 7. And then going for the close of the 19s here, knowing that it'll take 2 shots at the 17. That's a great play. A good trip. So now the play should be to go ahead and start the 18s first before the 17 close, because your point lead will be lost this next turn more than likely. You assume they're going to hit a 5. And now you can shoot the 19, or excuse me, 17 on the last. Did try to. Javi's going to focus on making sure that point lead solidified. I'd even grab 2 18s. And now I'd grab 2 18s. Hard to argue with a man staying for triples on points. The debate here is basically saying, hey, if I grab 2 18s, then even if they hit a 9 mark, we should be able to still close and get the point lead potentially. But it's risky if you only hit a single, so he's telling him probably to stay. Yeah. Broke his own rhythm, though. Still a great dart, but it could have been a 3 in the bed. Palacio almost beds the 18s right back. Needed at least 7. Hit 6. Still a good shot there for Honey A to keep them alive. And there, a massive 9 there for Entree Dart 1. Finds a big 9 mark. Double checking with the partner on the shot selection. Slot selection should be 2 trip 18s. Really, you stay for 7 18s. I don't think you can risk the 2 17s right now. Palacio does like to tell the close. You can see what he's talking about right there a little bit. I normally can read lips, but I don't read Espanol. So he's telling him to start the 17s. No, start the 15s. Start a second number. I actually like that play because they expect the 2 18s to get hit. So now he started that. Now he can go back to points. All right. Very interesting. Actually, pretty good call there. Didn't like the position of that dart, so went to the 16s on the bail. Overall, pretty good there for Uchi. Oh, stuck for all 3 now, Javi is. Just gets to close. So Palacio going to try to make it for lost ground here. 9 will not regain the point lead, but at least helps the cause. Oh, I couldn't find a trip on the last. Hasn't started the 15s yet. The battle still continues. Still within reach. A 9 mark here does regain the point difference and gets Honey A back into the leg. It's about finding one good shot in a moment like this. That's a good spot. Surprised that didn't follow right in. Still a great 7. Does find on the second. Can you find another one? Can't find a 6. So same shot now. Another 9 marker is going to be needed. Another great center dart. Another great miss for 1 hole out. Yeah, of course it's going to be 7. That makes sense. At some point, Entre Dart's going to have to make a move. If they want to continue to dictate the pace. But then again, they're not really missing the 17 very much. Bigger number always will win in the long run. Yeah, and they're only with a 2. Should be a start for the Javi on the 15s now. Should try to get 3 of them, then go back to points. That would be the ideal shot. Yeah, I meant start on points and then hit 15, of course, naturally, and then go back and get a very unlucky deflection on dart number 3. That's what I was trying to say the whole time. Fifteens are now gone. Last start, he kind of sails away from him a little bit. You can see he felt like it was sailing away. This is getting pretty much set up for a last leg decider. It's not quite over yet in this leg. Yeah, I was just trying to finish his close-ups there. But since he did not close 17 successfully, this is a safe shot at the 16 here. So you know the 17s can't get closed the next turn. On doesn't get it. So Palacio now has an opportunity to start making this interesting because it's still going to take 2 rounds close to 17 or 16. First trip helps a lot. There's an argument to go 17 on this last start. He does stay. I think it's probably the safer of the two options. But just knowing that the 16s were safe, but 17s can still get pointed this turn regardless. First trip's banging. And there, another fatal 16. So right here, if I'm pausing, I'm saying single 17, and then you go trip 16, trip 16. There's the single 17, trip 16, trip 16. Needs at least one trip to really help, to not leave it to a 9. Big trip on this last start helps so much. You can see he's amped up right now. Left it at 100-point difference. So 17 should be getting pointed here again. Yep, there's the single 16. Now it's going to be point on the 17. One trip pushes us out of range. Yeah, good shot there from Javi. Palacio shot's a lot harder because if he wants to close at 17, he has to find a trip while also trying to get the points. And 9 mark on the 16s doesn't even get the point lead back. Oh, he's going for it there. So him and his partner need to both hit 3 bulls apiece, and then they're down 5 bulls in total. I don't like that play, especially if this goes single bull, double bull. Just single. So now you're leaving 3 bulls for your partner here. He has to hit 3 bulls or else the leg is over. And there, the leg is over. You can see Palacio knows that if he hits 3 bulls there and Javi misses, it would have left an opportunity. Gucci definitely I don't know if he's feeling a little bit emotional or just amped up. You definitely tell there's some emotions going on there. We're going the max distance, folks. Palacio have to reset his pace there a little bit. If anything, that's a breath fresh air to your partner saying, hey, don't worry if you missed the bull. I didn't get the close, so the outshot was never on. And there you go. One more leg, one more round of warm-ups, and then one more leg of darts here, folks. A couple hundred of you guys tuning in across all of our different platforms. Thank you all for staying back and tuning in and having a good time with me. Well, here we go. One last warm up period and one last leg of darts. It all comes down to this leg here. Entree Dart 1 or Honey A. Who will win the title? My name is Nick Teixeira, bringing you continued coverage here of BullShooter Europe 2025 XXXI 31 wonderful years. With another 31 right around the corner. 20s are closed for Honey A. And tagged the 19 back up to points. Beautiful 9 there for Honey A. Entree Dart 1. Javi here has been really kind of down on himself, it feels like, ever since after the seat match. I don't know what changed, but he needs to have that confidence in himself. He is a wonderful player that just has been struggling in this match. Going for a lot of hero darts in a moment where you got to be fully comfortable when you're swinging those darts like that. Grabs the 19. Back up to the 20s to points. Big shot there. 6 mark for Smarlin. He's smiling. Entree Dart here. Nothing that they can do except try to start the closes. I would go 18, 17. And if you hit both, then shoot the 20. I'm not worried about closing the 20 right now. I'm worried about my partner and I getting something to point on. Partners and I should say. There's 1, 2, 3 in the 17s. So that means 17 should be contested immediately. And then if errors happens and the 17 is left open, then Honey A gets a second number. Now go back up to the 20s. You can see everyone calling for their back there. This is the best kind of scenario for Honey A. They just have to hit a 3 mark on a number to start the close, and they go back up to point. That is the strategy that they are doing right now. Last one gets away from him a little bit, but it was the right idea. So now Entree going to be on the 17s. Going to stay there for a bed. Oh, and here's the error potentially. Needs to find the strip. Doesn't find the trip. So that was the error that I talked about could happen because you tried to fight the 17s. That's a good position now for Honey A because now 3 17s gets them an extra number and then they don't even have to go back up the point. They can start the next one. Over to the 18s. Oh, he stays for points. That's the 18s on the last. Grabs a single. Entree pushed the 18s. They need to get this close on it. Just a big single on the last. He's frustrated that last start, I think. Or maybe he's frustrated the first 2 just didn't go in. Last start can't be frustrated. Triple wouldn't have changed anything. Now contest the 18s. I would continue to walk along the board. You have enough points right now. You can push 16 and 15 and put a lot of pressure on Entree. He adds to the points even more. And he hits another 9. Oh, man, that's down and dirty darts. Entree Dart 1, despite even gifted a free leg by forfeit, has been facing terrible troubles and hasn't been able to get through. $202-point lead right now for Honey A. 2 18s needed to get the close, maintain their 2 number and 202-point advantage. 2 big singles. That's 1. Oh no, left it open. That's now 6 darts available for Entree Dart 1 at the 18. They need 4 trips with no points from the other team to be able to regain the deficit. Right now, I think Entree Dart 1 having a whole team meeting about the strategy here. The man in jorts to dictate the path. Grabs 5. I still think the shot here is to probably start pushing the advantage on 16 and 15, but I understand if you want to start 20. Now you're going to stay on 20. Neither of those darts were convincing. You should stay on 20. Good trip on the last. Regains that deficit almost immediately. And that single miss with Marlin is being felt a little bit because it slowed down their momentum, but it hasn't been enough to tip the scales. Back to the points for Palacio. Finds a trip 20 on the last. 126 point advantage now. $15s to the 16s. 15s to the 20s. Going for the close. With the 2 numbers, I don't know if I love it. I think I would have preferred a 16. Here should contest the 15s. 3 15s is massive. Might go back up to points with it being within 120. Oh, right on the wire. Looked like it was going to be another 9. That's a great shot there. Good 5. Avi now pushed, betting the 15s. Does get 6, but again, look at the scales. 121 point difference. It's tipped. It's heavy. It's one-sided. They're saying, Smarlin, just get a 3-mark close. Nothing fancy needed. Honey A has been on a journey. Honey A, by the way, lost to Bisora Repul after they had a first round bye, beat out the Americans, Light Outs Elite, and then lost out to Bisora Repul on the winner side. Then beat out Gian Fresca, or Fresa, excuse me. Then Team Netherlands, then the Hansi Flick boys, and then they beat the Americans again before going on and beating out Bisora Repul for revenge to get back to this point. So we've had a long journey to get here. Should be a pretty conservative pointing turn here, you would have to imagine. Good trip 20. Good trip 20. Oh, good 7 mark there. Look at that crowd. There's a lot of Honey A fans in the chat, it seems, and on the backgrounds. Still stuck to the 15s. You feel trapped. It feels suffocating. Tries to hit the insurance policy on the 16s. Palacio, 2 15s. Finds it there. He might go up to 20, but I think a trip 16 is massive. Does find the trip 16. Now he's going to go up to the 20s. What a good shot there. Honey A is taking the wind out of the sails of Entree Dart 1. And Entree Dart is instead saying au revoir Dart. Not even going the 16s, went to the bull, basically relinquishing the leg, 3 16s, and then 3 bulls. 176 point difference. I would start the bulls. If you hit double bull, single bull, you get a game shot. That's a good marker for the double potentially. Oh, it was a good marker, but just kicks into a single. Crowd's going bananas back there, but this is all but over. They all know it. You can even see it. People are dancing around. They're jumping. An entree dart one will fall short. 3 balls here by Smarlin. And then back to the points because there's nothing else he can do with this shot. Photographer's already got the cameras out. Oh my goodness. One more bull. Does get the hat trick. They're 1 bull away from the win. Entree dart one. It was a Valorant effort, but they're falling short at the very, very end here. It was a good battle. It was a great battle even. You can see they're already giving love and support. They're already shaking hands. Winning dart about to go in. Still needs the 1 bull. Still needs the 1 bull. Hold on. Anticlimactic moment. Everyone has their cameras. You got to just hit 1 bull. There's no game shot anywhere in sight there for entree dart. Just drill the 1 bull. And there you go. Does get it done. And he's on the ground. The Honey A wanted that. There was so much love and passion to be found. Nick West is just confused what's happening. I think he's just happy to be around. Oh, the face of Nick West right there is hilarious. He's like, wait, what happened? You might as well be telling him that's the World Championships. But unfortunately there for entree dart one, they do fall short. But big shout out to everybody involved with the Honey A team. Daniel Martinez, Ricari, Juan Luis Lopez Palacio, Smarlin Martinez Caceres, Victor Otero Sanjoré. Good stuff from them indeed, but they get the job done. Folks, that will do it for our coverage here. Now they're all talking. Nick West is just sitting there. Like he's just goofy. I love him. Yeah, it looks like some words there were getting exchanged. I thought it was pleasantries, but there's some there and then some not. So in either case, looks like that will conclude our coverage here for our morning session here in the Eastern, afternoon session there for the International. That's our team cricket event done and dusted. Coming up next will be the mixed cricket event. That should start here in probably about 2 hours or so. We will be doing that with no commentary as I'm going to rest the vocal cords, folks. Thank you all for tuning in, giving us love and support, and we'll be talking to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.